Hey, Yuki fam, welcome to today's VRChat news update for today. We are going to get into the update in just a moment. I just want to shout out to those of you who check out the website, yukiproductionsyt.weebly.com. This time around, we have our podcast content section where we talk about gaming news and VRChat news. If this is something you're into besides these videos, let me know because I am very interested and doing it as a podcast on Spotify. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. All right, now we get into today's big boy update because this one is big one for those of you who are into saving data. And I've been talking about this for quite a bit in the last few updates, and that is called persistence. So let's get into it. Flare Rune with today's article. Flare Rune. And the thumbnail for today is from Experience. Yes, that is the name of the world from NATO, and it's basically Windows XP in a 3D space. So if you ever learn about Windows XP back in the day, if you want to revisit that, you can in VRChat. All right, let's get into it. VRChat Avatar Setter Pilot Program and Feedback Opportunity. So for those of you who are not aware, the VRChat Creator Economy was introduced a few months ago, and people were allowed to sell stuff as long as you signed up for it. So now they're allowing you to do a survey if you have been interested in that program, talking about hey feedback. But it is only for those who were part of the program if beforehand. So make sure you guys fill out that survey if you guys are interested. The next thing is VR chat images hot links. This is a small change that will affect third-party website and application that utilize VRChat assets such as avatar or world thumbnail images. In an upcoming change, VRChat will no longer permit hot linking in quotes of images from our servers. To avoid disruption in any third-party service, maintainers should proxy and cache these images on their own infrastructure. This will ensure users of those websites and services have a smooth experience while reducing the load on our infrastructure. This change will take place in early October at the soonest. Any kind of handling points that apply to API slash file slash one, excuse me, API slash one slash file or slash API one slash image slash will be affected, including linking within an image source shown there, as well as linking it using a href for those a href tag for HTML users. So basically, Ahref stands for like a hyperlink for a website if you want to click on something. For those of you who play with HTML5, now we get to the big boy. Here comes the big boy, and this is persistence. So for those of you who are unaware what persistence is, let me just give you the TLDR. The TLDR of persistence basically is allowing developers to allow people to save data into a like a slot of data where if you come back to the world later on, you get that data back. For example, an inventory system with coins. So if you have 5 coins on September 30th, 2021, for example, and you come back, it is just a very hypothetical. If you come back 2024 for some reason, you still have 5 coins. So basically saving data, like in video game. Okay? So that's a TLDR on persistence. And this is a big deal. Because if you develop game worlds, you want data to be saved. Okay, so let's read and let's take a look at some examples from the page here, and there is going to be a particular example we'll be taking a look at very soon here. We're looking to ship persistent user data to open beta within the next few weeks. We talked about persistence in previous dev updates, but as a short summary, persistent user data allows world creators to save certain types of data that the world can remember for each individual user upon every visit, unless, of course, the user does it by themselves. Currently, this feature is in a closed beta. If you'd like to read how it works, you can check out our closed beta docs, which will be merged in the main creator docs once the feature is live. We've also been working with our closed beta testers on how doing sorts of amazing and fun things with the feature. Here are some examples. So here, this first one is no time to talks. Options and interests are automatically saved and interesting more quickly between players. So what do we mean by that? Let's watch the video here. For more example, so as you can see here, the user is clicking on certain data. Now, as you can see here, pronoun, life, creative genre, gaming, and VR social. You can see here how the user is clicking on random stuff. Okay, the idea is this data going to be saved? Watch this. He rejoined, and you can see here the settings are still there. Look at that. Remember this? It's exactly the same settings as earlier. So this is called persistent. But it's not just with clicking buttons. Oh no, we have more stuff. This is from Carrot, Karet, and this is showing off collectible card game kind of way. And now I want to actually bring back some of the features I was going to use for Moonlight Village 2 because of persistence. So after drawing a pack of collectible cards, the cards you draw are saved to your inventory so that when they next visit the world, you can pull them out. And let's take a look at that. As you can see, collectible cards from this particular world, and as you can see, police officers. I believe this is a thing here. As you can see here, 5 collectible cards. No, that's 4, I believe. That's 4 cards. Watch the user rejoin. Watch the user rejoin, and then look at the inventory. It's going to take you a little. There it is. Local police department. Look at this. He's looking at the inventory, and all the cards that you just saw open are still in the inventory. They're still there, and you can pull them out. Now, this is more of a showcase. This is not more of a game, but more of a showcase to show off persistence. The third one is not major in terms of like it's major in terms of persistence, but I want to explain why this is important in terms of our channel. So this one is from Myro P, and the description is it's a theme park builder. So if you want to build your own Disneyland, you can. But in this theme park builder, a save slot system is implemented that lets users manage their progress. When you rejoin the world at another time, you can choose a save slot and load your save data. Basically a video game, a legit video game. I'll explain why it is important for this coming week in our channel in a moment. So as you can see here, you save, delete video game. And you can continue exactly from where you left off in that world. And as you can see, look at that. There you're reading your theme park and all that cool stuff. and that's for persistence. So why do I say that this is going to be part of the channel this week? Allow me to do a shameless plug really fast because next week we have a special VR chat for you guys. We are officially announcing that Francis Riolu is going to be one of our rotational characters for our VR chat live streams. But not only is he making his debut on our channel in terms of now, he's not only making a debut on VR chat on his channel, it's going to be a park day. We're going to go to Virtual Park as part of his debut on his channel. What do you mean by his channel? I made a channel specifically for our boy. As you can see here. This is the exact same stream, same night, same 5:30 start time. And you know I'm gonna roll the dice at 6:30 because of Critical Role. So shameless plug there. Subscribe to Francis Riolu, subscribe to the main channel. And I'm very excited for that. But we have to go back to our um our thing at hand here. Our article. Oh, and also I have a world tour coming up for this particular world so that you guys can get used to it before we play on Thursday. This is the next one. This is from Sin Copes, I believe is how you say this, and Loon 4. In YTS, they are using player data to store world settings like mirrors and brightness, and player objects to sync the third person position, and other data for the tablet. They'll be using similar in upcoming projects. So let's have a look at this. So as you can see, mirror, tablet, and you can see this character is changing the options, and they going to rejoin the world. Remember what happens to rejoining the world? Are the settings still there? Tablet. Here's the tablet. Here's the here's the other stuff, other data, and here's the data for the tablet. The next one is called District 77 by VEE. District 77 is a multi-venue event and exploration world utilizing persistence for settings, collectibles, and even your spawn location. Don't want to spawn in the subway all the time? You instead wake up in the front park or your favorite venue. Let's have a I don't think this is a video though. No, it is. Never mind.
Don't you hate it? You just finished loading up a world, changed all your settings, went through 15 pages of disclaimers and rules just to crash?
Oh yeah, that has happened.
Thanks to persistency, this will no longer be a problem. World creators can now save your settings or even which of the 15 pages you already saw. The best example is my new world, which is coming soon, District 77. Thanks to persistency, it will remember all your settings and if you already completed our onboarding. And the best part? It's very easy to set up. You visit a world very often, your preferences will already be ready for you when you join, meaning you can directly jump into the fun.
So all the data that you put in and the options you chose is in there. It's going to be saved. So don't worry about changing settings if you crash. But that is only if persistence is available when you are developing the world. The next one is Hyper Robot 33, and this demo is showing off the following. The goal with this demo is to show the persistence has enough space to store a decent amount of data. The demo allows you to either load an image from a URL or take a picture directly in the world, and we have and then have that saved to the world. You're also able to see other users' images when they join or take new ones. Let's have a watch. So as you can see, take screenshot of the train or whatever this object is. Take screenshot, and as you can see, the screenshot is saved. Rejoin. They're gonna rejoin, It takes a little bit to rejoin, but I'm not surprised. And as you can see, that screenshot of the train is still there. So that is the persistence with images. This one is a big boy too. From also from Hyper Robot 33. We're gonna take this step by step. This is our upcoming update to the Ocean Flight system that adds persistence to almost all of the customization settings. You can create different name slots for different purposes, such as a competitive mode and a normal mode. You can also set which of these slots to load during the world. You don't have to run over to the panel and tweak the settings every time. Additionally, you can select other users in the instance and copy their slots and by extension their settings into your data, allowing for the easy sharing of different settings. There is also experimental metric system that tracks how far you have, how long you've flown, along with a rank system that we plan to support as an extension. So let's watch this video talking about that. So checking slots and naming slots, and he's going to set change settings all the way up to the right and then save. So you can see the new slot, save slot, load slot. You can export it too. And here's the metrics thing. Gonna change the avatar. He's gonna fly because he wants to track the metrics. It's unranked because and it's still looking. It's still and he's doing a ranking system with this. Still unranked. I like how he's nodding his head though. He's gonna get ranked soon. Watch. He needs 30 seconds to get the newbie rank. All right. Next part from the VRChat team. Description: when cutting wood in this world, the logs count and logs themselves persist after you rejoin the world. So right now they're at Super Mario 64 count. Look at that 64. So the idea here is to cut wood, cut the three to get wood, and then count the wood pieces. So to cut down three, how many wood do you get? You get up to 76. So now he's gonna rejoin. And as you can see, 76 wood because of the persistence data. So cut wood again, and it's now 88. Now keep in mind this is a gimmick. Now what could you use it for? If you have ever played Rust kind of thing, you can make a survival game. You destroy house made of wood, or you steal item. That's actually something that's pretty cool. If it in a video game. The next thing they go on is sidebone and constraint execution order. So this is away from persistence. A long-standing issue for VR chat and avatars has been if you have sidebone set up as the child of a constraint, the sidebone can shift or jitter around. This happens because constraints always as all as have always been solved later in the frame than side bones, which can be the following situation. One, you have a game object that's constrained to stay on a certain position that also has a side bone under it. Two, your avatar moves in a way that the game object's position changes. Three, the side bone detects that the game object has moved, so it simulates the physical effect of the movement. Number four, same frame, later in the same frame, the constraint detects the game object has moved and moves back to where it should be. And number five, the frame is rendered, which means the side bone will shift as if the parent is moving through, even though it isn't. In the future, we're introducing a way to organize side bones and constraint during the frame to allow constraints to run before side bones where necessary, which means that side bones under constraints will have a solve based under the position and rotation after the constraint has run rather than before. This will solve the issue where side bone unexpectedly shift around where it uses children of constraints. As an example, here's a clip of an avatar that has a copy of the sample avatar head. Under a constraint, the freeze the world switch on as it behaves in the client. Let's take a look. So there's an avatar head. As you can see, try to copy. There you go. And here's the same avatar with those execution order changes. Notice that the hair and ears no longer shift about as we look around. So it's not moving. That's what this is, the new system. So under they change the order of execution with the program when it comes to Cybone. And here's more. We're aware of similar ordering issues between contracts and constraints as well. We're aiming to resolve those two, although we're not quite far ahead to show progress off with that just yet. A couple of things to keep in mind. The change specifically allows constraints to run either before or all side bones or after all side bones. While this is expected to solve the majority of the cases where jittering appears, it will not fully solve jittering in situations where side bones and constraints are later repeatedly. For example, a constraint containing a side bone containing another constraint. So it's nested. Number two, there's an existing technique that involves scale constraining an object to your avatar's head in order to hide it in first person while still showing it to mirrors and to other people. While we're done, while we've done what we can do to preserve this technique as part of the change, we can't guarantee full backup compatibility due to the need to change the execution order. The VRChat the VRChat the VRC head chop component introduced in March of this year is designed to handle this case. If you're using constraints to hide objects in first person, it's strongly recommended that you move over to using this component instead as soon as you can, since we cannot guarantee compatibility for the constraint method in the future. So if you are using VRChat head chop, make sure you move over to the new one, the new component, which is the new thing here. Other stuff that is going to come out, VRChat VRChat Chatbox 2.0 is now in open beta. The default setting for chatbot visibility has been changed from friends to everyone. You can also mute individual chat boxes. You are now able to select a user and you use and mute and unmute their chatbox. Same thing with their voice. Chatbox auto send. Chatbot messages will now automatically send to the display other players as you see typing. You know, so instead of the whole dot 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 like an iPhone, now you see what they're typing in real time. So if I type in critical role is starting at 7, you know right away that I'm saying the stream is over at 6:30. And no, I'm not capping. I don't cap. When I say the stream over at 6:30, I want it over at 6:30 so I can watch Critical Role. Get you guys ready to watch Dice Roll. Anyway, this is enabled by default, and a new auto send messages setting can be toggled off or on to disable this behavior. Selected user message never disappears. Highlighting selecting a player will keep their chat box active unless you deselect them. Mobile touch UI chatbot option. So if you are on iPhone or Android, there is going to be a chat box option for you on the UI. As you can see on the Android build, chatbox visibility supports earmuffs and world zones. So just a little TLDR. If you put an earmuff zone around your circle, if you are in the circle, then everybody's going to see what or hear what's in that circle. But if you are not in circle, if your friends are not in the circle, you will not hear them. Basically, you have to be in the circle. Otherwise, no circle, no hear. That's how it plays out. The only time you should not have this on is when you are role playing. That's a no-no by rule because that's a no-no on by rule because you need to listen to other players, especially if you're role playing. So don't use earmuff when doing role play. Even if it's only a two character conversation, because if you accidentally stepped away from the circle, you're not going to hear what they're going to say if you are using earmuff. So keep that in mind. And now chatbox is going to select it too. Basic profanity filter. Oh, this is a big one. If you use profanity, there's a new chatbot thing you can do now. Basically, toggle that. You're golden. The next one is minimize keyboard. Okay, so you minimize the keyboard. I'm not gonna go into this too much because I think that is very straightforward. Report chatbot messages, very straightforward too. This is a new one. This is a big one though. This one is big boy. For those of you who are VRChat World developers, this is for you, and this is for me too. Example Central, what is it? We're getting closer to shipping a new feature for managing SDK examples called Example Central. This would be a new window in Unity that comes pre-installed with any VCC project where you have access to a library of scene examples that feature useful or common functionality that you want to add to your project with a single click. We'll be starting small with a few examples and add more as we go. If you have any suggestions for potential examples that creators would like to use a lot, let us know. So do if you want to do world settings and you don't want to do it yourself, there's Example Central ready for your use. If this makes it, and remember it's from VRChat, so you don't have to worry about stealing from VRChat because VRChat is what you're developing for. So you're fine. That's huge. Also huge. Also big boy. Build and test for mobile, especially for those of you who want to expand for iPhone and Android. We're also excited to share that we're working on a build and test compatibility for mobile platforms. Currently, build and test is a feature that allows creators to quickly test their worlds for Android before publishing. We are planning to expand this feature so creators can test their worlds on a mobile devices to check for mobile compatibility and feel as well. Keep an eye on this feature soon. And finally, For those of you who are interested in the next VR Chat World Jam, Spookality is coming. So for those of you who do not know, basically this is their Halloween event that that they do every October, normally before every October, and basically if you if you build world, you upload world, and you do Spookality, basically a contest, and you might win something. You might even win VR Chat Plus, whatever. So if you're into this, so every year we host VR Chat World and Avatar Jam celebrating a Halloween. We encourage creators to create their horror worlds, chill out worlds, and even more to match the holiday spirit. Spooky or cute avatars go trick or treating in, etc. Keep an eye out on our socials for the sub team. We're aiming to announce it on September 23rd. So in about this weekend, they're going to announce the subcategory for this year's Spookality. Okay, so that will be a lot of fun if you guys are interested in Halloween kind of thing for VR chat worlds or avatars. Keep in mind that there are some rules you have to follow, so make sure you guys follow said rules. Other than that, that's it for this developer update. According to them, the next one is October the 3rd. So I'll be back with you guys for another episode of our VRChat news on October the 4th. October the 4th. So if you guys are, I will tell you, if I'm reading this from a player standpoint and creator standpoint, I am very excited about persistence. Seriously, I believe this is more of a persistence update than anything else. And I'm excited for Thursday because we're playing in here. We're playing in here. This VR chat world where you can make your own card park. Now keep in mind, persistence is in closed closed beta. I cannot use it yet on my world. So no Moonlight Village persistent yet. That will come when it comes. But I will tell you it's going to be up soon because I'm still developing that thing. So I am choosing to delay Moonlight Village 2 in anticipation of persistence because there are some things I really want to try out with this stuff. So that's the world update. Again, if you're interested in Spotify and all that stuff for our podcast stuff, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. Maybe you can vote on it. That's all for the update. We'll see you guys next week, Monday. We return to our normal streaming programming with Mario. Enjoy, and as always, it's a Friday yet. Get ready, roll those dice, and get your critical hit.